Blue Story is a huge achievement for Black British cinema. I have not seen a Black British film swing for the fences in such a ballsy and courageous way and succeed in a long time. This is a fantastic movie. It's a true achievement and it's something that people should go out and support and watch right now. Let's discuss, let's get into it. Cameron Kelly Smith, movies and wrestling. Let's go. Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name's Cameron Kelly Smith. Be sure to hit that subscribe and notification button to stay tuned on the content I produce each and every week in the world of wrestling and movie related discussions. So Blue Story, this is the new Black British film from Rapman, well, his creative idea, and the story essentially evolves around gang violence, knife crime and whatnot in London, England, in the UK, especially in particular to South London. And the story revolves around two childhood best friends who each succumb to gang violence and end up joining mutual gangs, and then they end up going up against each other in what is a really lovely story. As I said in the opening, I think that this movie is an achievement. I had a great time watching this movie, and let me just jump into some of the pros here, and then I'll pick up on some of the cons, which were not a lot. First and foremost, this cast. I think this cast is a fantastic cast. I think they did a really good job. Michael Ward, he's a star, man. Like, he really is. Like, he literally steals every scene that he's in. He's so electric. He's so captivating. He's so charming. He's so charismatic that he's just a great addition for this movie. Obviously, you will recognize him from Top Boy, and he is just absolutely fantastic. And I'd love to see what Michael Ward can do in different roles. I'll be really intrigued to see him, in a drama, for example, playing a different role to what he's done in Top Boy and Blue Story, which are somewhat similar, because he's just really magnifying, and I'd love to see him do something else, because I just think that he's absolutely fantastic. Newcomer Stephen Odubola, excuse me, my apologies for butchering the name there. Stephen Odubola, absolutely fantastic, man. I think that he gave a real charm and innocence to Timmy, and we really then did see his character arc and progression. I think he played him absolutely well. Carla Simone Spencer, she was absolutely fantastic. Callie Best, I think, is just hilarious, and he once again steals the scenes that he's in. This movie does a really good job not only highlighting the issue that we have when it comes to gang violence and knife crime, especially within London and within, youths of that age, but it also does a good job at showing the consequences and the inner struggle of what these people actually go through. Now, obviously, I'm from Southeast London. I was never involved in that kind of thing myself, but I knew of people who were, and I knew people who were, and I had seen things here and there. So it was really relatable, especially as someone who's a South Londoner watching this movie and just seeing that we still do have a huge issue. This is a huge issue. This is a problem. It's still going on. But they just tell the story in such a beautiful way where you really do empathize with these characters. You see into their inner lives, and it really gives you a taste of what these characters are going through, what makes them succumb to this kind of issue and to get involved in this in the first place. And I think they do a really good job at showing that every character in this movie whom is involved in the violence is a victim in themselves, but they are also an architect of their own demise and failure, which I think is really portrayed incredibly well. Once again, Rapman, who is a creative force obviously behind this movie. I watched obviously the music video of Blue Story when it came out, I think a couple years ago. And in this movie, at first, when I first did start watching it, I thought I was kind of not too keen or not too sure how I felt about the rapping and him kind of, breaking the scene kind of as a narrator almost to then rap and kind of progress the story. But as the film went on, I thought that it was just a beautiful touch and a really good idea. And it was unique. That's something that maybe in the realm of theatre we'll see quite often. But in film, that's something I haven't seen in cinema. Like, it was something really new and unique, and I thought that was a bold new move and way to do something different with modern day cinema, especially Black British cinema. And I thought that was actually really well done in conveying the story and just keeping you up to date with what's going on, what the issues are, and how we can solve it. There is one scene in this movie that I really have to give a shout out to. I won't spoil it, but it involves a character whom is in a wheelchair and he's speaking with his cousin. And his cousin is essentially, one line that he says to him is that, and I'm paraphrasing here, but he says something along the lines of, "I never should have got you in to this gang culture. And I think that that scene in particular really encapsulates the message of this movie and how the cycle continues to go around. And I think one of the things that they do really well towards the ending of the movie is also giving you some solutions on how to fix the issue. And what this movie does ultimately, which I think is the message and what they're trying to do, is that it does make you want to act. It makes you want to do something. It makes you want to self-reflect. It makes you want to help. It makes you want to come together and to try and help the issue and prevent more deaths and more crime in regards to gang violence from happening. And that is the most beautiful thing about this movie, because it succeeds in its message. A few cons, as I said, at first I was not too keen on the rapping, but I got over that. I thought it was actually great in the end. It felt a little bit long. This movie is actually not long at all. It's an hour and a half, but it felt a little bit longer than that. Pacing sometimes was a little bit off. Some of the script was a little bit cheesy here and there with certain lines, but I think it worked. And overall, as I said, I think this film is an achievement. I think you should go and see it. Go and support this movie. Support Black British cinema. There is a little thing there at the end, kind of just before the credits start rolling, that kind of serves as an end slash mid-credits kind of scene, which can be perceived in two ways. One is you perceive it as just a repeat of the cycle, or two, you can perceive it as a sequel. I think that if they were going to do a sequel, and I hope they do and are able to do a sequel, I think that it would have to go in a very different direction, and I would love to see it would have to offer something new, maybe a more way into delving into how maybe politicians get involved in this, or how social, like as a society, how the rest of the society are responding to this, and maybe just something new I think would be great in the sequel. But overall, as I said, this film is an achievement. Go see it. It's absolutely fantastic. Watch it. Watch Blue Story right now. So that's been my review of Blue Story, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section below if you have seen the movie. Thank you very much for checking out my video, guys. Have a good day.